Finally, after 2.5 weeks, the Kansas City Chiefs promote co-director of player personnel Brett Veach to be the general manager of your Kansas City Chiefs. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a strange 2 weeks as the Kansas City Chiefs were in a situation where no other team is in at the present time. You don't usually look for a general manager in July. You usually have all that stuff set. But John Dorsey made numerous mistakes. He made numerous mistakes that cost the team and Clark Hunt a lot of cash. You could say, hey, wait a minute, Shaggy. No, the talent's more important. The talent's more important. Yes, John Dorsey. He brought in players like free safety Daniel Sorensen, Albert Wilson, undrafted players. Those players were undrafted. Who brought them in? John Dorsey deserves credit for that. But so does Brett Veach. He was alongside for that ride. Brett Veach was right there when Dorsey was evaluating his talent. And Brett Veach has been there with Andy Reid since 2007. Brett Veach went to Delaware, University of Delaware. He's 39 years old, and the Chiefs will have a press conference for him 2 weeks from today. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move forward. But before we do, we need to look back at where it went wrong for Dorsey. It went wrong for Dorsey because of the problem that he created with Eric Berry. John Dorsey didn't want Eric Berry to return. He was willing to let him go. But Clark Hunt, at the last second, said, no, I want Eric Berry to return. I want Eric Berry to have a contract. John Dorsey knew he was screwed when Clark Hunt said he wanted Eric Berry because of the fact that John Dorsey already got himself into cap hell. John Dorsey got the Chiefs into so much cap problems that Dorsey himself had to fire the salary cap coordinator, Trip McCracken. Yes, that is his name, Trip McCracken. Sounds like from a cartoon character. And a lot of the problems that Dorsey created, Clark Hunt couldn't overlook that. Let's go back to January 1st, 2013. Clark Hunt tells the world, all future Kansas City Chiefs decisions go through me. All future decisions across the board go through me, Clark Hunt. So since January 1st, 2013, Clark Hunt is calling these shots. Clark Hunt is making these decisions. When the Kansas City Chiefs drafted Patrick Mahomes, who was there in the room giving high fives? Clark Hunt. Go back and watch it. It's on NFL Network. Yeah, even high-five Dorsey, but he was in the middle of that room. Clark Hunt was involved with drafting the Chiefs' future franchise quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. Now, back to January 1st, 2013. As soon as Clark Hunt said he was the big daddy on campus, as soon as he said he was the one making all decisions, what did he do? A few days later, he fired Romeo Crennel that day, fired Scott Pioli that day, or a couple days later. Then, a few days after that, he hires Andy Reid. He hired Andy Reid before he hired John Dorsey. Now, when he hired John Dorsey, Andy Reid and John Dorsey were supposed to be a team package. So when Andy Reid got his extension, you know Andy Reid could have saved John Dorsey's job. You know he could have saved John Dorsey's job. But we knew at that problem, Andy Reid knew, when he was sitting there with Clark Hunt, he said, Doris has kind of tied my hands behind my back. So I lost my number one receiver, and we're quite frankly, Clark in salary cap hell. And that's when Clark Hunt took charge. That's when Clark Hunt said, John, while you have brought us some talent, business-wise, yeah, you put us in cap hell. You put us in a situation where you got to go. And Doris went 2.5 weeks ago, June 23rd, 2017. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go back to my last show I did on that day. I want to take you back really quickly here because it brings everything together from what I did in last week's show, or the show on June 23rd. I wanted to go take you back to 1997 when there was no internet, there was no Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Here in Kansas City, we all Chiefs fans would call sports talk shows who we want to call Don Fortune, or do we want to call Chad Boger or the Z-Man. A lot of us called this little radio station in 1510 in Independence, Missouri, to talk to Chad Boger and to talk to the Z-Man. It was me, Shaggy Shane, Wolverine Willie, MU Dog, Mighty Mike, just to name a few. And it was a fun show to call. It was a fun show because we would talk to them and they would talk back. It was all about fans. It was all about fans, and it was a freaking awesome show. We look forward to calling the Z-Man and Chad Boger all the time. Well, make a long story short, Z-Man retires in March of 1998. Kevin Keatsman leaves Fox 4 to take over for the Z-Man, and every time I would call after that to 1510 to talk to Keatsman, Kevin Keatsman was always really super cool to me. He was always like, "Hey, Shaggy Shane, hey, I'm back for 1510 days. It's Shaggy Shane from Independence." And he was really cool to me. And since Kevin Keatsman was always really, really cool to me, I want to apologize to using profanity towards him. I'm sorry, Kevin. You've always treated me with first class. I want to thank you for it. I'm sorry for using profanity to you. Now, with that being said, I won't be upset with my feelings I had towards you, Keatsman, because you said Patrick Mahomes, you said since Dorsey was fired that day, you went out on a limb and said, since John Dorsey was fired today, I'm going to say it right now, Patrick Mahomes will be a bust. Your number one sports talk show in Kansas City radio said Patrick Mahomes will be a bust. Keatsman said that. And keep in mind, this is the radio station, AM sports talk radio station of the Kansas City Chiefs. And so naturally, I got pretty pissed off. I think a lot of Chiefs fans got pissed off as well. You know, he's a sports anchor. He gets paid to talk, to stir up. I don't know if I wouldn't say he stirs up controversy. I think he honestly believes Patrick Mahomes is going to be a bust. But I think it's a unprofessional assessment to just throw that out there, to throw Patrick Mahomes to say he's going to be a bust for that reason. 1 week after the draft, Patrick Mahomes was in rookie minicamp, and they said Patrick Mahomes looked really, really bad. It was 1 week after the draft, and he was throwing to rookies and undrafted free agents. You're really going to be that critical of how he looks in minicamp? Then Patrick Mahomes has gotten better. You can look it up online. Patrick Mahomes has made a steady progression through OTAs and minicamp. He's gotten a lot better. Now, we need to get him signed, sealed, delivered come training camp. That's what Brett Veach has got to do in the next couple of weeks. But I want to say, if you're going to be critical of Patrick Mahomes, say, I just think he might be too short. I think he might not be a pocket passer. Say that. Because when you listen to Bob Glauber and Soren Petro, man, you get some knowledge dropped on you there. And I heard that the day after the draft, and I came away with knowing so much more. I mean, before that, it was just, everything I learned on Path of the Draft. But when you hear Bob Glauber talk, as long as Soren Petro, they break it down. Now, that's it with 810, and that's in with any other sports shows. This is Shaggy Shane, and I'm here to keep it real about the Chiefs. This is for Chiefs fans, and I want to let you know, Chiefs fans, this is an exciting time to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan. This is an exciting time to look forward to going to camp. Training camp starts in 17 days, and let's hope Brett Veach can get Patrick Mahomes signed by training camp. I think they will. I really do. I think Brett Veach wants to get the deal done. It'll look good on his behalf. It'll look good if Brett Veach can get Mahomes in camp by day one, because it'll be, it'd be something that he could say, look at me, I got Patrick Mahomes into camp before without missing any time at all whatsoever. Patrick Mahomes' agent is Lee Steinberg. He's agent of Troy Aikman, current players Ben Roethlisberger. Lee Steinberg loves Patrick Mahomes. If Lee Steinberg didn't believe in Patrick Mahomes, or didn't believe that Patrick Mahomes was a winner, Lee Steinberg wouldn't have sat on the couch tied to the hip with Patrick Mahomes on draft day. Many of you who have watched the draft, Lee Steinberg was there squeezed on the couch so far with Patrick Mahomes squeezed in next to him. And on the other side of Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes' mom. Patrick Mahomes, at least Steinberg's connected at the hip with Patrick Mahomes. Lee Steinberg was Derek Thomas's agent. Anyway, Lee Steinberg is tight with Patrick Mahomes. I believe they will get a deal done, and I believe it's going to be a fun time to watch in camp. A lot of people want to talk about, should Patrick Mahomes start this year? I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if the Chiefs went 0-10 if Patrick Mahomes was our quarterback. I would not give a shit. I would say this kicks ass. Let's let him learn. Let's let him learn and play, because the Raiders did it with Derek Carr. They basically went 0-10, and now they built up a strong quarterback and a great offensive line that he's 1-5 against the Chiefs. But anyway, the Raiders went a route that I wish the Chiefs would go, but it's not going to happen. Alex Smith is going to be the quarterback. But you got to ask yourself a question. How will you feel after the Chiefs lose to the Patriots opening day? If the Chiefs lose to the Patriots on Thursday night in front of the world, are you going to be just as are you still going to want Alex Smith to be your quarterback for the rest of the season? But I honestly believe that it's going to play. The situation is going to play itself out, and we will see Patrick Mahomes play this year. I don't know what game. I don't know what week. But I just got a feeling the situation is going to play itself out. My heart says play Mahomes now. Let him learn. Let him take his beatings let him learn the same way Derek Carr did, other quarterbacks. When the Chiefs drafted Todd Blackledge in 1983, he really didn't get a fair shot. Now, I'm not going to say Todd Blackledge was Dan Marino or John Elway, but he just didn't ever get a fair shot because Makovic always pulled him every second or third game when he started to struggle. Makovic would pull Blackledge and say, I need a spark. I just need a spark. And he'd throw Bill Kenny back in there. But I honestly believe Mahomes can learn how to be a pocket passer. He is the franchise of this quarterback, and he's going to take the Chiefs to some serious championships. Yes, I didn't stutter. Those of you who watch me since the draft. And training camp is just, like I said, 17 days away. I will be there, baby. I will be there breaking it down with my homies, Lance Twidwell of The Spoken, Nick Gillespie, and many, many more. Come join me as we break down the Kansas City Chiefs season. This is an exciting time to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I'd like to thank my Shaggy Insider, Ryan Augustus, for the scoop today on Brett Veach. Bringing it to me. Ladies and gentlemen, stay focused, stay pumped. Brett Veach, welcome to Chiefs Kingdom. We got your back. You keep evaluating that talent. You keep breaking it down. We got your back. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you in training camp. This is Shaggy Shane saying, go Chiefs.